All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Chachwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. Your brother Rabbi Nap coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. Going to the news, it says, hours after taking office, New York City Mayor Mamdani targets landlords, moves to intervene in private, let's see what it says, in private bankruptcy case. Sworn in at midnight, and again hours later publicly, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani used his first day in office Thursday to hit the ground running with new executive orders targeting city landlords and housing development. And he said the city will take what he called precedent-setting action to intervene in a private landlord bankruptcy case he said was tied to 93 buildings. Today is the start of a new era for the New York City, Mamdani said in its inauguration day. It is also the day that the rent is due. Speaking at a Brooklyn apartment building, Mamdani framed the moves as an early test of whether city government will directly confront landlords over housing conditions and step into court cases that could determine whether tenants remain in their homes. So we'll see. We'll see, man. It ain't the landlord that's the problem. I mean, you got some slumlords out there. They might not fix the house. They might not, fix everything on time and shit. But if you look at the economy, I mean, it's kind of hard. You own multiple buildings, that's hard to maintain, especially when you're paying for more. Especially when you're paying for more, you gotta pay more in taxes and things like that. So your funds ain't coming like they used to, and you gotta allocate your money to, whatever you gotta allocate it to. So from top to bottom, everyone's being affected is what I'm trying to say. Then you got Mamdani coming in there like he gonna change something. He ain't gonna make it worse. That's why he's coming into socialistic views, socialistic policies, where ultimately when you look back on it, they're gonna be using you to pay for everything. Because people ain't gonna live in New York. They understand they understand how socialism works. So they're gonna get the fuck out of New York, and the people who remain there, they're gonna have to pay for whatever policy he's trying to implement. Who's gonna stay there? You so-called, you broke people, the poor, at the end of the day. Broke-ass white people, broke-ass black people, broke-ass Spanish people. Y'all gonna continue to work, and he's gonna find a way for you to pay for all these socialistic programs that he wants to implement. But the only thing you don't have to worry about is it's gonna happen to everybody. So don't feel alone. You just the first runner-up. There's gonna be other mayors that are gonna be implementing these policies. Because at first it's gonna seem like, oh, it's working, but you don't really understand how this works. How your money's involved. Just like today, you don't know how your money's involved. Either way, he's trying to rob you, man. But this time he's gonna rob you to set up a system that all that money that he's collected over the years, none of it went to fixing anything. Now he's gonna try to use your money to make it work. So people are gonna be pissed off about that. That's why when I was watching Bernie Sanders do a speech in New York, Mamdani was there. He was basically saying in his speech how the rich need to stop paying their fair share of taxes. The crowd starts yelling and screaming like, tax the rich. And Mamdani's just smiling because he understands the taxes going on you poor people. You people at those rallies. You hoping he tax the rich, he gonna tax your ass. The rich already figured out how to get the fuck around taxes, man. By the time you figure out how they did that, they're gonna be hiding somewhere and you ain't gonna be able to find them. Let me grab this in the book of Proverbs 29:2. It that's all it is, man. The wicked are in power. And you're mourning about it. Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, which are the Israelites, when they take every power seat away from the heathen, when all the heathen don't have no form of power at all, that's when the righteous are in authority. The people rejoice. You're gonna rejoice, just like I think Charles Schwab said, you should have nothing and be happy. Well, when you're not gonna have any power and you're gonna be happy when Israel's in power. But when the wicked beareth rule, the wicked is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, according to Malachi 1:4. He shall build, but I shall throw down. He's gonna throw down whatever he builds. So now that we know that, it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, he's ruling right now, right? You got the Europeans, they're in rulership right now. No one can take down the so-called white man, right? So he's in rulership right now. The so-called white man. They actually go back to Esau in the Bible. It says, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's why you talking about tax the rich. You complaining about socialistic policies. Representative Majority Taylor just had she posted on X, this dude that I guess he's a Republican, but he's pissed off with Trump. He's like, what the fuck? It's 2026. You got this Minnesota thing with the child daycare centers with Mr. Waltz over there. I guess he's gonna be they're gonna grill him soon, so he's gonna ask where all that money went. He ain't gonna have a clue. I don't know. I don't know where it went, sir. It went to your Swiss bank account. That's where the hell it went. That's what they do. They rob you and they put it into a private Swiss bank account. And then when the feds and shit go to the Swiss bank account, they say, we can't open that up. Everything's encrypted. We don't know whose is whose. We don't know anything over here. So that's where they store their money at. You can't get a bank account. You can't go up to that Swiss bank and say, can I set up an account? Or put my measly 10 grand in there. No. They're gonna tell you what's the code. You're like, what code? They got the elite got a system, man. Who sent you? Who made you think you could put your 10 grand here? And then in Germany, there was a big, huge bank heist, and the those motherfuckers stole everything. People said they had jewelry, they had all types of shit they trusted in the bank. Then they're in front of the banks, they're crying about what they lost. The bank ain't telling them shit. They don't know how did he, and you know that's an Edomite. He drilled through the back wall, just like some movie shit, stole everything. That's the type of shit that Esau does, man. So there you go, man. And so your money can get taken away the same way. But a lot of y'all don't have diamonds and shit like that was passed down from generation to generation. A lot of Jake just got cash. A lot of the cash that you have, that's just digital. So he can blame that on China and take away your currency, man. Like, listen, there was a EMP or some type of data breach. They stole all of our information. They have your bank account numbers. They took your money. We'll reimburse you. Download this app and take this chip. And not only will we reimburse you, because we lost your money, we're going to give you extra credits. And watch how many people line up to take that shit. Because they don't have their minds prepared for what's coming to pass. Let me grab this in the book of 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras 14, I think. Second Esdras chapter 14. In verse 14, it says, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. So you gotta, the burdens of man is what am I gonna eat? Where am I gonna live? What am I gonna do? He's saying put off that weak nature, man, because ultimately that's a lack of faith. You don't believe that the Lord can do all the things he's promising his servants. You don't believe. So that lack of faith is going to cause you to make a decision not built on faith, and it's going to cause you to be destroyed. You're going to easily be manipulated, we'll say, into taking it. He's going to have you think that that's your best option, and he's giving you all the options that you need to take to destroy yourself. That's a weak mindset. You don't go into war thinking about your girlfriend. You got to put that off, man. Damn, I wonder who's fucking my girl. You out there in a battle, man. That bitch, fuck that bitch. You got to be like Uriah the Hittite. You know, King David kept telling him, go home to your wife, man. He was like, nah, man, fuck her, man. I want to go to battle. So he had a mindset to battle. That's where his mind was at, in a battle. His wife and all of that, that was not, that's not where his mind was at. Let me grab that. Uriah the Hittite, KJV. Second Samuel 11, it says. Let's go there. You gotta put off that weak ass mindset. Where's it at? Second Samuel 11. Should I start at the top? Nah, this 2 Samuel 11, I'll jump down. 2 Samuel 11:1. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah, but David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her. She came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. So she's at home alone while her husband's at war, bathing on top of a rooftop, ass naked, and caught the eye of a king. So that's what your woman gonna be doing anyways when you out at war anyways. So it's to be weak for her in a time of battle is not a good thing. To be weak, to have mortal thoughts in a time of battle is not an evil thing. It's not a good thing, I should say. Your mind ain't focused on the battle, then you're at a disadvantage. That doesn't increase your chances of finishing the mission. 2 Samuel chapter 11 and verse number 5. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. And David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. So here it is, he asking them about the war. You know? He ain't talking about things of this world. We trying to get the victory, man, at the end of the day. And then when Joab went to go get him, he was probably in the battle somewhere. Like, yo, where's Uriah the Hittite? Oh, he's tents over there. Okay, well, the king wants to speak to him. Oh, okay. He's probably like, what the hell, man? I was prepared to go fight, man. We lost some men last night. I wanted to go get that back. I want to go chop some fucking heathen's head right off his fucking shoulders, these fucking Hamites. You know? I'll go party and play when the war's over. 1 Samuel 11 and verse 8. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house. And there followed him a mess of meat from the king. So he's trying to rock him to sleep. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord and went not down to his house. So there it is. He didn't want to get back into that mindset, being weak for his wife again, and like, fuck that, man. If I go over there and hit that, man, I ain't going back to battle. That's how you know Bathsheba she looked good. She looked good, man. If a righteous man like King David, she made him stumble. He didn't fall because of it, but he stumbled. That was a sin he committed, worthy of death. You can't commit adultery. You can't have sex with another man's wife, like you niggas do today. That's why y'all be getting put to death. And if you ain't dead yet, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. That's one thing the Lord hates, adultery, man. That's why he be kicking you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans' ass. Because you commit spiritual adultery through your idolatry. And that's why he be putting you to death. I just did a video. This lady walked out of the church on New Year's, I think in New Jersey, I forgot where, and a car hit her and kept going. Now they're mourning the death of this lady, but she was going to the Harlot House. That's the last place you expect to get hit by a car. I'm on a highway. My chances of getting hit by a car are much higher than somebody going inside of a Harlot House and coming out. Anything can happen. A car come, another car bounce here, and boom, I'm up out of here. But the Lord clearly is pleased with me just doing what I'm doing. But you were inside, you were warm, and you came out, and just the timing of it said it all, man. And that's another case for another. These are things we got to meditate on, man. The Lord's not dealing with that. 2 Samuel 11 and verse 10, and when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down unto thine house? And Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. So shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As thou livest and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. Fuck out of here, man. Everyone's out in tents getting prepared to go to war. I'm supposed to go home, eat, drink, and sleep with my wife. So his mind was prepared for the battle. You know? Were you gonna force him to go be with his wife? What kind of law is that? What are you talking about, man? You know, through the spirit, man, sometimes shit don't make any sense. It's because something's up. Something's up, man. You probably know that. You know your woman, man. You know your woman ain't shit. A lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, you know your woman ain't shit. You wasn't shit when you met her, and you think she grew into something better, she ain't shit. No matter how good she looked, man, she's just another harlot, man. And she's not your wife anyways, man. You ain't pop her cherry. That's what makes her your wife. You gotta pop her cherry, and a lot of y'all don't pop their cherry. The cherry's already popped, and then she get popped by mad other people, and by the time she met you, you number 400. You the sucker that actually bent the knee. She's probably still talking to one of her exes on Facebook. Don't trust these damn. This is why you can't have that weak ass mindset. Because then when the shit actually happens to you, you get all distraught and shit, man. Fuck this, fuck them bitches, man. We gotta work on what matters, man, and that's building the wall, building the kingdom, man. Doing the Lord's work ultimately. Spiritually, we building up the elect of Israel, which is building up the third temple. So a lot of y'all, like Apostle Gabar be telling y'all don't know what the hell's going on here. You read about Nehemiah, they said they were men with a mind to work. A lot of men don't have a mind to work. I used to be a construction manager. I see it all the time. A lot of men are like little fucking kids, man. They come into work late. I tell them, no, keep going. Fuck am I getting up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to come out here in the cold and you stumbling 15, 20 minutes late every day? If you can't get to work, I'll go hire somebody else. Fuck out of here. And then at the end, the shit ain't even done what you came here to do. And I'm supposed to pay you? Get the hell out of here. Send somebody, I'll call your boss. Send somebody that has a better work ethic than that. I don't want him. Send him up out of here. And that's why the Lord tells you in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, that if you lukewarm, he'll spew you out. Nobody want to be around no lukewarm motherfucker. Everyone's working hard. Here comes lukewarmness. That's like you warm in your bed, your girl come out straight from outside all cold and then trying to grab your heat. Get the fuck off me. That's how it feels like when you work with somebody like that. 2 Samuel chapter 11 in verse number 12, and David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house. So he was even drunk as hell, and he still didn't go home. Shows you what type of man Uriah was. Uriah he was about it, man. He was about the war. He wasn't fooling around with it. He wasn't coming up out of the mindset to go home and be comfortable. That's a man of war. Second Samuel, and then I forgot what chapter it is, I think it's 2 Samuel 22, where it goes into the 36 mighty men. He makes the list. To be a part of that, man, that just shows you what type of man Uriah the Hittite was. 2 Samuel 11 and verse 14, and it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. Oh, man. Fucked up. That he might be smitten and die. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. So he was in the front of the hottest battle with valiant men. And he went out, he was for that. He was for it. Hey, Uriah, we're gonna send you to a different battle. We're gonna send you to the hottest battle. Let's go. You sure you don't want to go home to your wife before you go? Fuck her, let's go. I'll get her when I come back. Clearly he didn't come back. So you don't want to have a mindset like that, man. Even though he still died, he didn't have a mindset like that. But he got set up. Who knows what else Joab did to make sure he died? He probably knew. He probably sent him on a loser's mission. Second Samuel 11, verse 16, and it shall come to pass when Joab observed the city that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew that valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people, the servants of David, and the Uriah the Hittite died also. And Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh unto the city when ye did fight? Know ye not that they would shoot from the wall, who smote Abimelech, the son of Jerubasheth? Did not a woman cast a piece of a millstone upon him from the wall, that he died in the Bez? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. So he's pretty much speaking in code, letting them know that Uriah got hit probably with an arrow. Had him go up against some fort. You know, you gotta knock down them forts, man. You can't just be climbing. Yeah, climb the wall. Uriah, you go first. Fucking crazy. You probably did it too. Because when he's talking about Abimelech is in Judges the 9th chapter. Let's jump there real quick. Where this lady trying to escape his wrath, he was going to burn down the tower. She dropped a rock on his head. Judges chapter 9, verse 50. Then went Abimelech to the Bez and encamped against the Bez and took it. But there was a strong tower within the city, and thither fled all the men and women and all they of the city, and shut it to them, and got them up to the top of the tower. And Abimelech came unto the tower and fought against it, and went hard unto the door of the tower to burn it with fire. And a certain woman cast a piece of a millstone upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull. Then he called hastily unto the young man his armor bearer, and said unto him, draw thy sword and slay me, that men say not of me a woman slew him. And his young man thrust him through, and he died. So that's what he's telling his message to tell David. And he's referencing Judges the 9th chapter. So it's already, so clearly, it was a dummy mission. Now, Abimelech was trying to burn the tower down with fire. I get that. But Abimelech he should have sent somebody else to go do that, and that's what Joab did. Why send a high-ranking member, a valiant man, into something like that? You send someone lower, down the totem pole. And if he's successful and he survives, hey, after the war is finished, you can get remembered for something like that. But here it is, he's on a forefront with valiant men. He's known as being a mighty man, and you got him doing some stupid shit so he can get put to death. But it was all It was all to put him to death anyway. 2 Samuel 11, in verse 22. So the messenger went and came and showed David all of that Joab had sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us and came out unto us into the field and were upon them even in the entering of the gate. And the shooter shot from off the wall upon thy servants. And some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. And David said unto the messenger, thus shalt thou say unto Joab, let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devoureth one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead, she mourned for her husband. Yeah, right. He probably felt like shit. Crazy shit, man. 2 Samuel 11 and 27. And when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. So he might have, in his mind, he might have gotten away with it carnally, but the Lord saw everything that he did. Joab might have not have known why the king had him put Uriah the Hittite in the forefront of that battle, but the Lord knew. The point of me getting that is to not have a weak-ass mindset, man. Uriah is a man of war. Let me go to 2 Samuel 22, because I think that's where it is, or 23. David's last song, yeah, 2 Samuel 23, and it says his mighty men. I'm gonna jump down. 2 Samuel 23 and 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had: the Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino the Eznite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time. So that's the type of mighty men. He took up a spear and slew 800 men. Okay, a small hat can't do that, man. You go look at I mean, we fought with Amalek multiple times. He's a sneaky piece of shit. But you know, there's plenty of, you read the book of Judges, you read about Gideon and the 300. That's Jake. That's Jake, man. Back then we were probably much stronger, much faster, built different, more manly in our mindset. We weren't weak-minded. We were outside more. You know, you had to really protect your family then. Losing wars wasn't fun, man. You know, if you lost, some of your kids die, the rest of the men die, some of your women die, they take your daughters, and they bring forth their tribe. So you didn't want to lose in battle. But on the other, if you win the battle, there's a lot of spoil. You come up. Second Samuel 23, verse number 9. And after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. So his hand, you know, these are the stories that these mighty men had stories attributed to their names. He said his hand clave to the sword. You know, you swinging a sword like that you just become one with the sword. That's pretty mighty. He's probably just, swords are heavy, man. So, you know, you gotta be physically in shape, and you gotta have that mindset to swing a sword like that. Let me jump down. 2 Samuel 23 and verse 39. Uriah the Hittite, 30-7 in all. So he even made the list of being a mighty man. But it don't go into detail what he's done. But you could tell by the way he was talking to King David, the way he went into the forefront of the battle. And if he was telling him the truth, like putting them into the forefront with archers and shit like that to go to take down the tower, if he's the first one up, that's a mighty man. That's a mighty man. And I'm sure as he was doing that, he wasn't thinking about Bathsheba. That's why he ain't go home. The only way David was gonna try to get away with this is if he did that. That's the only way. You had to commit sin because he wasn't. He was loyal. So we got to get up out of that mindset. This is a battle, man. This whole country about to go to war. So, you know, imagine what kind of economy you're going to have then. People dropping their currencies. All that shit's gone. This currency's being devalued every day. A lot of you people's mindsets are weak as hell. Especially when it comes to spiritual things, man. You gotta have a spiritual mind, you gotta have faith. And if you don't hold on to that faith, man, you're through. You're through, man. Grab this from the Exodus, the 15th chapter. The Lord's a mighty man. I mean, he's a man of war, I should say. Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord, Yahweh, is his name. So he's a man of war. And we see men of war don't think like men of this world, man. You talk to somebody who's been to battle before, and you want to talk to him about the New England Patriots and how Drake May is doing such a great job. He might say, keep that nigga far away from me during the battle, because I don't want to hear about that shit, man. What's the mission? What's this? What's that? You know? Where's the enemies at? What's the goal? You know, that's what you should be talking about. And that's who the Lord got. That's who the Lord got on these highways and hedges talking about. They ain't talking about no stupid shit. People complaining about taxes. Your taxes are going up this year. Your inflation's going up this year. Inflation, all that shit's going up. Let's see what else is in the news, matter of fact. Before I go. Whew. It says Trump threatens military force if Iran kills protesters. Oh shit. Because right now their currency dropped. They're in the streets. One US dollar is 42,000 riyam, I think they call their money. There's memes online, not memes, but people are going in, cashing in their $42,000 to get a $100 bill or a dollar or something like that. I don't know if it's 42,000 for $100 or 42,000 for a dollar. I googled it, I believe it was 42, it could be 4,200. For a dollar, that sounds more about right. And 42,000 for $100. And that's a fucked up economy, man. It's a fucked up economy. How How you gonna get to work? How you gonna pay for this, pay for that? Get the hell out of here, man. That's an unsustainable society. I'm gonna go carry 42,000 of my cash to go put to fill up my gas tank. Get the hell out of here. And that's why your money's gonna go digital, because it's gonna be astronomical how far your dollar's gonna crash. Where am I? Oh yeah, I want to grab a precept. This dude be meddling in too much shit. Meddle not in many matters. You bomb their nuclear sites, now you telling them how to deal with their own people. They got a government over there. So what, you gonna go to war with Iran now? You gonna lose. The Persians gonna fuck you up. They owe you Edomites an ass whooping too. They ain't forget what Alexander the Greek did. Antiochus Epiphanes learned that during the Maccabean period, so they already whipped your ass before, but not at the level that you whooped their ass. You took every single province down. So they're gonna get your ass back. Just like, what's that, Second Maccabees, the 9th chapter. Let me grab this, Ecclesiasticus 11:10. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent, and if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. So what that's saying is, don't be in everybody's business, because you might find you're not going to be innocent. You're going to put yourself in a position where you can't even get out of. That's what he's going to do. He's already meddling all over the place. Syria, Nigeria, Venezuela, Taiwan. Meddling too much. He's in everybody's business. He likes to put his nose in everybody's fucking plate. He wants to smell everybody's food. That's a so-called white man for you, man. Mr. Superman. The Lord made him like that. He's stirring them all up. And before all this happened, Iran said they said full-scale war with the U.S., with Israel, and U.S., Israel, and in Europe. And those Iranians can fight too. They're not no soft ass, they be talking shit about the North Koreans. Iran could go to war. They showed you that when they were fighting ISIS. They took them down quick. They didn't have to do all those bombing campaigns that the Americans did. They went down on foot and killed them niggas. On foot. And they couldn't wait to go to war with them. They wasn't looking for drone strikes, and nope, we going in there. We're gonna comb through the streets and we're gonna wipe them out. Because that's how you actually get the victory. You really gotta have boots on the ground. It's bloody, but that's how you gotta that's how you gotta do it. Bombing all the time ain't gonna do it, man. Palestinians are showing you that. You can bomb us to smithereens, we still gonna fight. So that shit don't work. You're gonna have to get into these tunnels and you don't know what the fuck's down there. You might have some, but you don't really know. The Vietnamese, they were using tunnels and they were fucking up the Americans going into those tunnels. You don't wanna go down there. You do not want to go down there. And you can't really bomb it like the way you want to because you want to occupy it. Let me read a little bit of that article. It says, as a matter of fact, yeah, I'll just read the top. It says, President Duck warned that the U.S. could intervene militarily if the Iranian regime kills civilians that have been protesting against it over the last several days. So, another war. He said he had stopped 8 wars, but like I said, he got that forked tongue, so he's probably gonna start 8 wars. That's what he's pretty much saying. You got Venezuela, you got Cuba, not Cuba, Colombia. I don't know if Mexico makes the list. Taiwan, Ukraine, Nigeria. I don't know. You got Yemen. I don't know if he ain't really, I don't think he's really involved with Yemen, but Saudi Arabia, if they need him, he'd probably go over there and help them too. That's all I can think of right now, but there's a lot of wars out there right now. Go to 2nd Maccabees, the 9th chapter. 2nd Maccabees 9. And 1, about that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude, running to defend themselves with their weapons, put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. That's what's going to happen, man. You're going to return with shame. You're going to waste all this taxpaying money, and you're going to lose. It's a lose-lose battle. Ukraine, you're losing. Taiwan, you're going to lose. You're going to lose in Israel. You're going to go over there, and that's the end right there. Then the Lord's coming. Once he removes far from off you the northern army, it's a wrap. You go to the Middle East to go to war, you're done, man. Those are not battles you win. That's where you die at, man. You don't go over there to... That area over there is where kingdoms die at, man. The Persians, dead. Who else died? Assyria, gone. Babylon, destroyed. Well, not destroyed like that, but Medes, the Persians, they all taken out, man. You know? It's not where you want to, that's not where you get the W at, man. That's where you taken out. Joel chapter 3 in verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So that's how you know, man. That's where the Lord's going to judge these nations. He's going to bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And they're going to be destroyed over there. And that's what we're waiting for. According to Zephaniah 3 and 8, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. There you go. That's his determination. He's determined that he wanted to bring all these nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat and pour out there and judge them there. Meaning JEHOSHAPHAT, that's where he's going to judge you nations at. Just like King Jehoshaphat, he had a war. He sent everybody to go to war. And let's go there. Let's go there. 2 Chronicles, I think it is 26. Israel didn't have to do shit. And we ain't doing shit this time. We're going to watch you heathen die. No, it's not 26. The battle with Jehoshaphat, KJV. 2 Chronicles 20. You shall not need to fight in this. Yup. 2 Chronicles 20, 17 through 23, it says. 2 Chronicles 20, 17. We'll start at, I'll start at the top, jump down. 2 Chronicles 20 and 1. And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them other besides the Ammonites, Salakia, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. Jehoshaphat is the king of Judah at that time. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, there cometh a great multitude against thee from beyond the sea on this side Syria. And behold, they be in Hazanatamar, which is in En-gedi. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the Lord and proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of the Lord. Even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek the Lord. Then they go into his prayer. Let's see what he prayed. I'm going to read it down. 2 Chronicles 20 and 5. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah in Jerusalem in the house of the Lord before the new court and said, O Lord, Yahweh, God of our fathers, art not thou God in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Art not thou our God, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever? And they dwelt therein, and have built thee a sanctuary wherein for thy name, saying, if when evil cometh upon us, as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and help. And now behold, the children of Ammon, and Moab, and Mount Seir, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade, when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. Behold, I say, how they reward us to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. O our God, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. And all Judah stood before the Lord Yahweh with their little ones, their wives, and all their children. And then it says, Jehaziel answers the prayer. Then upon Jehaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jaleel, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh in the midst of the congregation. And he said, hearken ye, all Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat. Thus saith the Lord unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but God's. Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they came up by the cliff of Ziz, and ye shall find them at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of Jeruel. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord Yahweh with you. O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed, tomorrow, go out against them, for the Lord will be with you. Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the Lord Yahweh, worshiping the Lord. And the Levites of the children of the Kohathites and of the children of the Korhites stood up to praise the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, with a loud voice on high. Now it says enemies destroy themselves. Going back to Joel, the 3rd chapter, when he's going to bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Just like he told you in Zephaniah 3 and 8, wait ye upon me, for my determination is to gather the nations. Now it said Moab. Moab's the so-called Chinese man today. Ammon's the so-called Japanese man today. Esau's the so-called white man today. So they came coming together with a great multitude to come take over Jerusalem. And what did Jehoshaphat do? He prayed to his power. He prayed to Yahweh. And Yahweh answered him through his prophet Jehaziah, who was a Levite. Okay? And then right after he prayed, it goes into enemies destroy themselves. And that's how the Lord's going to do it in these days. It's crazy that the king's name is Jehoshaphat, and the fact that the Lord's decision is to send you into the valley of Jehoshaphat. 2 Chronicles 20 and 20. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Lord your God, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper. And when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto the Lord Yahweh, and that should praise the beauty of holiness as they went out before the army, and to say, praise the Lord Yahweh, for his mercy endureth forever. And when they began to sing and to praise, the Lord set ambushments against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, which will come against Judah, and they were smitten. So there you go. And we're singing right now. We're singing because the Lord already told us what he's going to do. Just that's why he started singing. If the Lord tells you, I'm going to fight for you, hey, I'm singing too. Hey, go get the trumpet, get the trombone. We're going to sing. We're going to praise. We're going to cheerlead for the Lord. Let him get the victory. And that's what we're going to. That's what we're doing now. We're singing, man. We're singing the destruction of this place because the Lord said that's what he's going to do. So why would we get mad about that, man? This is a time to be rejoicing. So when I hear Iran and Donald Duck saying we're going to come over there militarily, hey, that's good. That's a great thing. I should clap for him. I should write him a letter saying, you're doing a great job. You're doing an absolutely great job. Keep doing it, man. Keep going. Make America great again. That's what I would tell him. I would tell him exactly what he wants to hear. He would probably, thank you, black man. You see, I like this guy, he would say. This guy right here, yeah, I like him. With his voice, man, he got that funny-ass voice. But that's what it is, man. You going into the valley of Jehoshaphat, man, you ain't coming out of there. That's JEHOSHAPHAT, man. You don't read the Bible? Crazy. Keep fucking with them. Keep fucking with those Persians, man. 2 Chronicles chapter 20, and verse 23. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir. So they switched up against them, utterly to slay and destroy them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, everyone helped to destroy another. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with Esau when he goes out to battle. His allies are going to turn on him. So the Lord already fought with Esau multiple times, man. We fought. So where's all that peace shit that they talking about, man? Niggas trying to invade Jerusalem, and you think the Israelites? Oh, let's hold hands with Esau. Get the hell out of here. Oh, let's go hold hands with the so-called Chinese man and Japanese man. That never happened, man. There's plenty of wars in the Bible. Phone's getting too old. Starts acting up. And y'all niggas want technology in your foreheads. You guys are out of your... His technology sucks. 2 Chronicles 20. In verse 24. And when Judah came toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked unto the multitude, and behold, there were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. And when Jehoshaphat and his people came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance both riches with the dead bodies and precious jewels, which they stripped off for themselves, more than they could carry away. And they were 3 days in gathering of the spoil. It was so much. Oh, man, that's funny as hell, man. You came to invade Judah, and then y'all end up fighting each other and killing and utterly destroying each other. And then we came to collect the spoil after. That's what's going to happen again. We don't got to do anything. Lord's gonna make these heathen look like fools for coming up against us, man. You think this is foolish, but you're gonna see. We're gonna be laughing at you then too. You stupid ass heathen. God loved you so much, he wanna send you to the valley of Jehoshaphat. He got people joining the military, right? Because he wants you to be destroyed. That's your lot. That's why he gave you a military, so you can die with it. The Lord ain't fighting for you, he's fighting for Israel. He's gonna fight against you. That's what he's saying, sending his angels for. Anyways, 2 Chronicles 20 and verse 25. And when Jehoshaphat read that, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Same time as it. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna end it there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Echad Wadash, Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharala.